Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy, Nowonshall, coming at you with yet another Star Trek Fleet Command video. Today, we're talking about my favorite crews. We're going to do a video just on my personal favorite crews, what I have in my presets, and why I have them in my presets. But before we get in the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification down below and right below that. Don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget, there is a Discord link to come join. If you do solely want to, come join that conversation. And don't forget, I do have... Did I say donation links already? Oh, well, I do have donation links as well if you guys do want to help out the channel. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about my generally favorite PvE crews. Well, PvE crews, just crews in general. Well, they're all going to be focused around PvE oriented because I'm more of a PvE player, but that's what it is. And I hope my microphone quality is better this time. I worked on it since I'm at my girlfriend's house to do different things. My lighting is better here. My background lighting looks cool as heck. So yeah, so let's start with my base PvE crew. So I'm gonna grab this crew and we have my presets. So I'm gonna get my first preset, which is gonna be, well, Janeway, Gorkin, and 5. Why do I use that? Why do I use Janeway, Gorkin, and 5? And of course the computer is locking up. So Janeway, of course, I use for the fact alone is when you take hull damage from a non-player hostile, which is non-PvE, or PvE, not PvP, Armada, Caitlin Janeway increases your shield mitigation by 20% for the first round, or for one round, which is good when you start taking hull damage. So whatever ship you have, make sure you take some hull damage. The secondary ability I like about her is at the start of combat, Caitlin Janeway increases your isolated cascade damage by 10%, which cascade is going to be isolated damage, which helps out greatly. And then I use Gorkin, well, besides for stats, I use him when fighting your opponents. When you get a crit hit, Gorkin gives you a 9% chance of causing hull breach for 3 rounds. Why I choose him. So I have to go out of this menu to be able to show you why I choose him. And some of you be like, whatever about it. But this is my thought process. This is what I think about it. So we're going to go here, go to my artifacts. And if I can remember what artifacts it is, it's going to be, I think, a Blade of Takan, I believe. Nope. Is it hull breach? Yeah, hull breach. Right here, I get a 5.4 isolate damage right off the bat from those 3 rounds. When I'm using it, I'm getting isolated damage there, which helps out. Isolation damage is bonus damage. And then on top of that, I get Picard's reskin fleet. If you guys know what I'm talking about, this is another one for your general PvE, 4.5 damage for the first 3 rounds. So you're getting more isolated damage. You have Caitlin's ability. You have the isolated damage you're getting per round when you have this one on there for your PvE targets. And you have Gorkin's hull breach, which is causing more isolated damage. So I'm at about, what, 20% isolated damage when it comes down to Cascade. And then my last but not least crew, or part of the crew, is going to be 5. I choose 5 because, well, just loot. I want 5 for the loot. That is the only reason I have 5 on board. Did it switch back? It did. Let me reassign the crew. Well, you already see I had 5 there, but we can look at the underdeck as well. And let me apply this one. So we have the underdeck, which once this loads, and I do think the presets for the lower deck is pretty cool, honestly. I'm loving it. So right now we have Hugh, Odo, the Doctor, Galinar. Galinar switches out once in a while for Tuvok, Tal, GG, and Khan. Only reason I have Khan down there is stats, but most ships don't have the spot for the stats since I don't have any lower decks, so he just sits there looking pretty under deck. And then we have Tal and GG just for what I'm swapping out to do my runs, to do my Venom space runs, because this is my general PV, so any hostile grinding or any Borg probe grinding or just anything in general, this is what I personally use, but I've been really digging. And we have, only reason we do Hugh down there is because, well, this is and retaliate, 50% chance of causing crit chance for 25% for 2 rounds, which is great. And then Odo increases crit damage, which is amazing. And then of course I use the Doctor for his drop rate. And then I use between Tuvok and Galinar the 30% active venom and the inner nano probes, and for, well, yeah. So that's what I use there. And now let's go to my next set of crew. So when I am doing my Borg or my Venom grind, this is the same basic principle. We have 5, GG, and Tal. If you guys don't have Tal, somehow get him, because Tal alone is going to be your saving grace when it comes to these Venom, Acton hostiles, whatever you want to call them, because we go straight off the bat. We have 5 of 11, increase your shield, deflection, armor, and dodge by 200%, which that's what you're going to need. Remember, my 5 is maxed, so it's going to be what it is for you guys. And then I use Gigi because her proc rate used to be way better. When her burning hits, it used to be way better than Nero, but Nero is just as good now, so you can have Nero in that spot. At the beginning of each round, Gigi has a 7% chance of burning your opponent's ship for 2 rounds. And of course, Tal, mine is a base tier 1 Tal, so it is what it is, but Tal decreases your opponent's ship hull health by cumulative 5% round while burning. So it's just going to strip away the hull as long as he's burning for 5 rounds, and he only works up to 60 hostiles. Thank you, Scopy. Of course, I have Hugh, Odo. You can swap those around. You can throw Odo up front. You can take the Doctor for more loot, because Hugh doesn't really... Oh, yeah, you can keep him there. Never mind. And then let's go look at our next one. So we're going to dive into a general PvE crew. So I'm going to dive to my left more. I can let that sit there. We're going to go 1, 2. And this is my other old school PvE crew. So we have Strange New World Pike, Strange New World Spock, and Strange New World Hammer. And Spock is going to be, because I mainly am an Explorer player, so this helps me go against interceptors. And of course, his ability Underdeck, when fighting hostiles, decreases shield mitigation by 25% against hostiles, which is amazing. And then on top of that, we have Hammer, which is 1400% total to the health against Survey, and that's going to be a dual. You can do Interceptor and Surveys as long as you're on Explorer. And then of course, the Underdeck is going to be Tendi, which is 100% hull HP, and then Rutherford, which is 90% shield HP. That's all it is. Remember, you got to worry about your stats no matter what. You always got to worry about it. That's why I always suggest we need another slot for our lower decks, because stats do matter. And then now let's look down the line to our generalized first go. This is what I use for my armadas. So for armada wise, I have Cisco, which Cisco is going to be based on Benjamin Sisko increases armor, shield deflection, and dodge by 900% of your total health when fighting armadas. So your health does matter, which Admiral Kirk will help out on that one. And then his lower deck ability, of course, Benjamin Sisko increases crit hit chance against armadas by 6% every round cumulative, which is amazing. And then, of course, I go with 6 of whatever the hell you call them. When attacking an armada target, every time the ship hits an opponent, with a weapon attack, 6 of 11 increases the accuracy, armor piercing, and shield piercing of the ship by 30% of the total attack. So that's when your attack matters. Your attack stats, of course, down here. And then now we have Miles O'Brien. Miles O'Brien is one of the ones I've been loving since he came out. Is for 3 rounds, Miles O'Brien has a 50% chance to increase your shot pattern by 100%. So increase your shot pattern. And lower deck ability, only one I have on there is 30% chance of morale, which is Kim, which is going to give me another going back again to the artifacts, which 30% chance is kind of insignificant, but it does help out for isolated damage. Then we go to our secondary PvE crew, which everyone has showed me. So I'll go back here, assign, and boom. As you see, these presets really do come in handy. So we're going to go to our PvE crew, which is going to be right here, which is going to be a Janeway crew, of course, because Janeway is amazing once it decides to load. Right here, we have our normal red alert, our isolated damage, and then now we go down to the point, we have synergy on top of that. We have Belana Torres. When fighting, or when you take damage from a non-player hostile or armada, Belana increases your armor piercing, shield piercing accuracy by 600% of the attack per round, 1 round. So again, this is where your attack stats matter. Then now we go to the Doctor. When you take hull damage from a non-player hostile or armada, the Doctor increases your armor, shield deflection, and dodge by 30% health for 2 rounds cumulative. So then, again, your health matters here. And that's when Kirk comes into play, Admiral Kirk, which will help out with your health. And now we go to my third one. Well, usually this one changes, but this is what I've been using. This is for more or less loot. So as you see here, I have my armadas said, Armada 1, Armada 2, Armada 3. And we go down to here. And we have Geordi, Picard, and Bev. So Geordi I'm using for his rewards. Geordi LaForge increases the rewards your ship receives defeated Armada targets by 80%. And then his other one is for Klingon. So if you're doing Klingon Armada, it's cool. He'll work out well. But this is where we look at Jean-Luc Picard. This one is Jean-Luc Picard increases your crit hit damage by 10%. That's great. Now we go to Bev. So when fighting hostile and Armadas, Beverly increases your shield or your armor, shield, deflection, and dodge by 300% of defense of your, obviously this is where your defense matters. Boom, that's where you see 100k in defense. And my lower deck is going to be Boimler, 85% to your MIT stats. Then I have, I forget his name half the time, sorry. Paris. This is where Paris comes into play. Increase your armor, shield, deflection, dodge by 200%. So we have 2 mitigation stat bonuses. And then we have Mariner, which includes a wing at 115% weapon damage, which is amazing. And then now I'm going to go back to my main set. For one more last run is my Voyager set. So we're going to assign the crew again. We're going to grab the crew. Since I still need to do that later today, I might as well just put them on. So as you see right here, apply. And once it loads, when Mac decides to actually catch up with me on this one. So, as you see down here, we have, of course, we're going to see Janeway's abilities and her makeup. And then on the right side, here's what I'm looking at. Increases cost efficiency of your ship's active abilities by 55% assigned to the Voyager. So when you summon the species A5472 or the Borg probes, which are in the special space, it decreases it, which is amazing. Of course, I have 5 down there just to have 5 more loot. And then we have the lower deck stuff. We have Hugh, of course. We have Renaissance Man. And then we have Tuvok, which is 220% of the cargo capacity of Voyager, which takes me over 1 million there. So that's why I have them. This crew has been working wonderfully for me when I'm using my Voyager. As you see right here, boom, boom, assign the crew. Once it decides to load, assign. Go here. Go to the bottom right here. As you see, my cargo capacity is 1.23 million in capacity, which is amazing. If you guys have any officers you want to suggest to use, or you have any crews that you personally like to use, please tell me in the description down below in the comments. Don't forget, there is a Discord listed down below to come join the Discord. Don't forget that subscribe. Don't forget it, the like and the bell notification. And don't forget, there is a member button. If you want to become a member, click that button and become a member. And don't forget, I have donation links to Venmo, PayPal, Cashapp, and Venmo. And I do stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. All right, guys, it is Nowonshall. Peace out. Have a wonderful day.